Hey, good morning and happy Friday. Thanks for joining us on our KOCO Facebook page as well as KOCO Meteorologist Taylor Cox Facebook page. I can hear my audio this morning. I can see myself on the camera here, which means that all of our technology is working. That's great news. You know, yesterday we had some technology difficulties, and today it looks like our computers are a little bit more awake this morning, right? We can all relate to that. Sometimes we're just a little sleepy. Need a restart. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into it this morning. As I mentioned, I'm Taylor. You can follow me on Facebook at KOCO, Meteorologist Taylor Cox, KOCO. There you go. You can also stick a comment, a question in the comments section of this Facebook Live. And I'm pretty good about getting to those at the end of the Facebook Live here. We've got about 20-ish minutes. So if you have any questions, drought related, rainfall totals related, weather related, Thanksgiving related, you know, we can just chat. All right, let's get into it. It's cold today. It's also very cloudy out there this morning. We have not only some low-hanging clouds, but also some clouds moving in from the south and west. You can see that most of that rain that we saw yesterday has moved through the state. You know, it was loud yesterday. It really brought some heavy rain for a very short period of time into Oklahoma City and other parts of the state, but now we are mostly dry. The only thing that I'm seeing out there is maybe a little bit of drizzle near the Great Salt Plains Lake. Medford, Alva may be getting some drizzle and light mist this morning, as well as Watauga. You know, it's really hard to see on the radar here. At times we see this and it looks like a shower. Other times maybe some drizzle out there. Either way, it's pretty difficult to spot. So we really rely on some of our other products to figure out if it's actually raining in these areas or not. But most likely what we're seeing here is that light drizzle. Light mist across Oklahoma City as well. We were getting reports of that on the south and east side of the city earlier this morning. Chase says once he went back to the north side of the city, it was a lot drier, but of course that can change very quickly. So we're saying patchy drizzle, patchy mist this morning is what we saw. Either way, it's cold and most of that rain has now moved out to the east. Let's get a check of your rainfall totals real quick. We see rainfall totals about 3/4 of an inch in Alva, about a 1/2 inch in Woodward. In Oklahoma City, not as impressive. We're about 2/10 of an inch in Oklahoma City. If you go farther out to the west, El Reno, about 4/10 of an inch here. But I do want to show you some of the more impressive, oh, hang on, there we go. Impressive numbers, about 2 inches out to the south and eastern side of the state, you know, in areas that just got a total soaking yesterday. But we didn't get that here in Oklahoma City, unfortunately. We just got a very dreary day yesterday. If there was a nap day, yesterday was the nap day. I mean, I could hear the rain just a little bit outside my window, and I was like, oh, sounds like perfect napping weather. I had a lot of to-dos yesterday, so I could not nap. However, perfect nap day yesterday. You know, this morning, I bet it's hard to get up too because it's very dreary out there this morning. You can see some of the low-hanging cloud cover out there, low-hanging moisture in this area. Current temperatures are in the 30s and 40s, 35 out in Alva, 36 in Alva, 35 in Clinton, 40 degrees here in Oklahoma City, a little bit warmer the farther east that you live. Factor in the wind to this, which is about 10 to 15 miles consistently sustained wind, but we have a 20 to 25 mile per hour wind gusts. Factor in the wind and it feels a lot cooler out there. Temperatures are in the low 30s for that feel-like temperature. So this morning I would go ahead and grab the coat. The jacket this afternoon with maybe a hoodie, I think that would be pretty comfortable. Now here's the deal. If we can get some sunshine this afternoon, temperatures will warm up a little bit. It'll feel a lot more comfortable out there. If we are staying with this cloud cover all day long and we don't get sunshine or we don't get clearer skies until the sun is starting to set, which happens at 5:17 this evening, then our temperatures are going to stay a little bit cooler and it's not going to feel as nice today. So I think this sunshine, the cloud cover, will really impact the temperatures this afternoon. What we do know is that we'll have cloud cover through the rest of the morning, and then we will see the wind speeds start to die down later on this afternoon. So at least we won't have that strong wind later today. Either way, I would keep your extra layers around this afternoon. Keep that coat handy too, because you're going to need it later on tonight if you have any activities planned this evening, maybe going ice skating or looking at Christmas lights. It's a great night to do it, but it's going to be chilly, so I would keep that coat handy. And if you are outside, maybe walking around seeing Christmas lights, you're going to not only want the coat, but also the gloves, the hat, the scarf. You know the drill here. Temperatures will be in the 30s overnight tonight, 40s for any of your evening plans. Highs for tomorrow, gorgeous. Saturday, Sunday, absolutely gorgeous. Temperatures are in the upper 50s tomorrow afternoon. We have 57 in Clinton, 60 degrees in Seminole, a little bit of cloud cover in north central Oklahoma, keeping them on the cooler side. But by Sunday, it's going to be warmer with temperatures in the 50s and 60s, more widespread across the state. A north wind returns on Sunday, about 15 miles an hour. There you go. There's your 5 plus 5 day forecast. It does trend a little bit warmer. I'll show you the temperature trend real quick. Here is our temperature trend. So we're in the 50s and 60s for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Above average. Our average is 54. We are above average for the very beginning, for the first 5 days in the forecast. Looking now to the last 5 days in the forecast, December 6th through the 10th, still trending above average here. And what you're looking at here is the likelihood that we will be either above or below average. So we have a very high to very high likelihood to stay above average for this first week and a half of December, which other than today and like Wednesday of next week, we will be quite a bit above average. What about that last half? Or I guess that kind of going into the second week here of December. Still a good chance to trend above average, just not as great as what we saw at the very beginning of December. And it actually looks like we may see a cool down at the end of December. So enjoy these first 2 weeks. I think these will be the most comfortable weeks we have this month. All right, there you go. There's your 5 plus 5 day. We will stay dry as we head into the rest of the work week as well, but come next weekend, we will have better chances to see some rain out there, and that will bring us our next cool down, dropping us about 10 degrees back into the 50s. But as of now, this is the coolest day on the 5 plus 5 day. Okay, any questions this morning? Paul says good morning. Good morning, Paul. Judy says good morning as well. We can take a look at other products that we look at this morning. And if you guys have any questions, let me know. Any fun weekend plans? Anyone have anything fun planned? I really want to go see Christmas lights or maybe go ice skating this weekend. I'm starting to get into the Christmas spirit here. I wrapped my first Christmas present yesterday. It's under our tree, which is very exciting because I got married this year and this is our first tree together. So it's very exciting. It's my first like real adult tree, because before I had one of those like half trees that was maybe like 3 feet tall. And so it's very exciting to have, you know, a real tree all our own, and Christmas presents are under it. Okay, let's see. Here's your drought monitor. We have not too much of a change, I don't think, from what we saw this past week. This came out yesterday morning. It looks like 2% of the state is now out of the drought that used to be in the drought. So we've seen a little bit of improvement here compared to what we saw the week before. Not too much, not a noticeable amount, just because by first glance this looks very similar to what we saw last week. The drought monitor is great. You can compare 2 weeks. Let's see. So let's compare last week to this week. What are we on here? November 28th to November 21st. So this is your comparison. So this would be, this is last week, this is this week. On the right is last week, on the left is this week. See, there's not too much of a change there. So your drought monitor stayed just about the same as what we saw the week before. I know yesterday someone asked for the pollen count, so let me grab that as well. Yeah, here we go. Also very similar to what we saw yesterday. Come on. There we go. All right, here you go. Grass, weeds, trees, and mold. Grass, not detecting anything. Weeds, trees, and mold in the low category. I'm wondering if this rain is going to change some of that. I wonder with some of these nicer, more comfortable conditions and more moisture on the ground, if that's going to change weeds, trees, and mold. I know that mold can develop whenever we get some of this just wet 24 hours here, you know. So if you have anything in the backyard, a wheelbarrow that maybe you haven't put up yet, or an old tire sitting around, make sure that you try to clear the water out of that, because that's going to hold water, make it stagnant, and grow any of that mold. Those are easy ways to clean out your backyard, right? Christmas tree lights. Christmas lights on the house. There you go. Maybe we're putting a tree in your front yard. You know, I love those outdoor trees. Let's see. I think that today would be a little chilly to do the lights on the, oops, go back. I think today would be a little chilly to do the lights on the house. So bundle up if you're out there. The wind will die down later on this afternoon, so that'll make it a little safer to do the lights. Tomorrow and Sunday look like great days, really almost every day this week. I do want you to note that later on this week, if you're going to do some late lights in the very end of the first week of December, it's going to be windier, so you may not want to get on a ladder for that. That may be an indoor decorating day. Let's see. Judy says good morning. Jen says good morning. Sandy says good morning. Good morning, everyone. Alan asks, last day of hurricane. Do you mean hurricane season? Hey, you know, this is the first day of meteorological winter. It doesn't necessarily feel like your classic winter out there, but it's chilly, it's cold, it's a little rainy. That's not winter. Happy first day of meteorological winter, everyone. Also some fun news here. Next week, those sunsets start to get later. It's not the shortest day of the year, but the sunsets start to get later. Here, I'll show you exactly which day. I'm thinking it's Wednesday, but it may be Thursday. And this will be nice because then you can start driving home from work and the sun will actually be a little bit higher in the sky. Okay, let's see. Starting on the 6th, which is Wednesday, I was right. Sunsets will slowly start to get later, and I mean it's a slow process here. So 5:16 is your sunset next Wednesday, 5:17 next Thursday, and then we stay at 5:17 for a while, and we slowly have a later sunset. By the end of the month, our sunsets are about 10 minutes later, 5:27. That'll be nice. All right, anything else this morning? Anything that we haven't talked about that want to talk about? The only other thing that I've really been keeping my eye on this morning is our humidity levels. We have seen some really impressive humidity levels out there. You really can't get more impressive than this. Look at this, almost 90% plus for the entire state, a few 80s out here. This was, you know, one of the first tips to tell us that we could have some drizzle in a good portion of the state this morning. Drizzle, fog, that type of thing. We know there's water on the ground. We know those temperatures are cooler than what we saw yesterday. Our humidity levels are high. Drizzle and fog are probably one of the main things that you're going to see this morning. So that's something I've been keeping an eye on. I've also been watching for our wind chill. Look at that, single digits out in Goodwell, Hooker, Eva, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It feels like 7 degrees in these areas. These are areas actually that saw a little bit of snow yesterday. 34 is your feel like temperature here in Oklahoma City. We've got 29 in Marshall, 25 in Sealing, 26 in Butler, 40 degrees for the feel like temperature out to the east. All right, well, I'm going to jump off of here. Thanks for joining me for the forecast and also to hear me talk about random weather products. You know, if you're a weather enthusiast like I am, you love stuff like that. You know, what can you see in the night sky? When's the sun setting? The drought monitor, all kinds of things like that. That's something I like to check almost every day. We also, you know, gave the forecast a little bit of rain and mist this morning. I would call it mist and maybe a light drizzle out there. Temperatures are chilly this morning in the low 40s, feeling like the 30s out there. 48 for your high this afternoon, feeling a little bit more comfortable. Upper 50s by Saturday and more widespread 50s and 60s on Sunday. More sunshine as we head into the weekend, and that sun sticks around for the early portion of next week. Temperatures look great as we head into next week. 50s and 60s is what you can expect. And then we have a little bit more cloud cover, stronger wind speeds as we head into Friday, and then that rain returns next weekend. Have a fantastic Friday. Thanks for joining us this morning. We'll see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow morning.